75 ways socialism has improved America. Well, I hate to be the one to tell you, but socialism, which you have been told to fear all your life, is responsible for all this ... socialism. There is nothing more feared and hated in America. The word alone sends shivers down the spine of the American people. Those 3 syllables conjure up images of Big Brother government ruling over us all, telling us what to eat, where, buy, and think. Socialism is alive and well in America, and it has been here for a very long time. As it turns out, you love socialism, and you use it every day, and you may not even know it. The military defense. The United States military is the largest and most funded socialist program in the world. It operates thanks to our taxpayer dollars and protects the country as a whole. From the richest citizens to the homeless who sleep under the bridge, we are all protected by our military, whether we pay taxes or not. This is complete socialism. Highways, roads, those roads and highways you drive on every single day, are completely taxpayer funded. Your tax dollars are used to maintain, expand, and preserve our highways and roads for everyone's use. President Eisenhower was inspired by Germany's Autobahn and implemented the idea right here in America. That's right, a Republican president created our taxpayer-funded national highway system. 3. Public libraries. Yes, that place where you go to check out books from conservative authors telling you how horrible socialism is in fact socialism. Libraries are taxpayer-funded. You pay a few bucks to get a library card, and you can read books for free for the rest of your life. 4. Police. Ever had a situation where you had to call the police? Then you have used a taxpayer-funded socialist program. Anyone can call the police, whether they pay taxes or not. They are there to protect and serve the community, not individuals. This is complete socialism on a state level, but still socialism all the same. Would you rather have to swipe your credit card before the police will help you? 5. Fire department. Hopefully you have never had a fire in your home. But if you have, you probably called your local taxpayer-funded fire department to put the fire out. Like police, this is state socialism. You tax dollars are used to rescue your entire community in case of a fire. It used to be set up where you would pay a fee every month to the fire Dept for their service. If you didn't pay, they'd let your house burn down. Sadly, a man from Tennessee had this exact situation happen to him in 2011 because he didn't pay his $75 fee. I guess that small town in Tennessee would rather let people's houses burn down than resort to evil socialism. So don't take for granted the fact that you have a 24/7 fire Dept to put out your burning home thanks to socialism. 6. Postal Service. Like having mail delivered directly to your front door and paying next to nothing to send mail anywhere you want. Well, it's all made possible by socialism. 7. Student loans and grants. Did you go to college? If you did, your family might not have been rich enough to pay your way through. So you got your education anyway through student loans and grants from the federal government at taxpayer expense. Of course, you have to pay back the loans, but if not the government, did you know anyone else who was going to lend you tens of thousands of dollars? Probably not. So the taxpayers lent you the money, and you paid it back with slight interest. The government grants you accepted were gifts from the taxpayer and the federal government that you did not have to pay back. Socialism got you through school. Bridges, along with our highways. Our government used your taxpayer dollars to build bridges. This allows the public to travel across rivers without having to sail or swim. 9. Garbage collection. Like having your garbage collected once a week, instead of having to drive it to the landfill yourself. Thanks, socialism. 10. Public landfills. Taxpayer dollars are used to have places to dump all of our garbage that is collected by taxpayer-funded garbage men. 11. War. That's right. War would not be possible without socialism. Your tax dollars are used to fight wars for your country. This is big government at its biggest. Private companies don't attack other countries, at least not yet. Government is the only entity in America that can defend us from foreign enemies, and our tax dollars are used for every second of it. Socialism has brought down Adolf Hitler, Saddam Hussein, and Bin Laden. War may very well be the most socialist thing on this list. 12. Farm subsidies, 13. The CIA, 14. The FBI, 15. Congressional healthcare, 16. Polio vaccine, 17. EPA, 14. Social Security. You pay a tax to help ensure that our grandparents and senior citizens of America have money to live off of when they are retired or too elderly to work. I love hearing rich people bitch about this one because the truth is that they do not pay a Social Security tax. Like most payroll taxes, this little piece of socialism helps prevent our senior citizens from sinking into poverty and starving to death. 19. Museums. Many museums are privately owned by organizations and groups, but many are also taxpayer-funded state, national, and federal museums. 20 public schools can't afford to send your children to an expensive private school. Thanks to socialism and government, your child can still get an education. Public education has been under attack for decades in this country by the radical right because public schools don't teach Christianity to your children, and it enables people like Barack Obama to work hard, gain scholarships, and eventually become President of the United States. 21. Jail. Prison system. Many murders and criminals are behind bars right now and not out on the streets because of our taxpayer-funded federal and state-run jails and prisons. Taxpayer money is collected and used to help protect all of society from murders, molesters, rapists, etc. I know there's a lot of disagreement and controversy about how to handle our prison system, but I think we can all agree that serial killers should not be freed into society. Besides, don't you see the bad incentives in having a private prison system that profits from having people in prison? Since a business's top goal is to make more money than the year before, the only feasible agenda would be to get everyone in prison. 22. Corporate business subsidies. This is the type of socialism that is acceptable in the Republican Party. Your tax dollars are given to big corporations to do things they should be doing anyway, out of morals and ethics. Like not sending jobs overseas and hiring people. Wouldn't you like a nice big check just for not breaking the law? To be fair though, many businesses do earn their subsidies by advancing green technology and practice, donating to charity, helping communities, etc. They aren't all bad. People just get mad when big billionaire oil companies get billions of their taxpayer dollars while they're paying $4 at the pump. For the corporations that don't earn their subsidies other than donating to their very own political party, it's merely welfare. Though however you look at it, it is socialism. 23. Veterans VA healthcare. Our soldiers bravely go to foreign countries and risk their lives at the request of their government and the American people. For those who survive, we as a country feel committed and obligated to ensure that they have everything they need for the rest of their lives, for their service to us, in which we could never fully repay. So we, the taxpayers, fund their healthcare in a government-run single-payer system for veterans. Many soldiers return with mental and/or physical health issues that would cost them thousands in a private healthcare plan. Socialism funds the military, the overall war, and also takes care of our troops when they return home. 24 public parks, like going to the park on a sunny day, just being able to walk right in, or, at the worst, pay a small fee. This is once again the work of socialism. If it were private, it wouldn't be a park, it would be someone's backyard. That small or non-existent fee will turn into a $15 fee faster than you can say no trespassing. 25. All elected government officials from the Supreme Court to the President of the United States and all the way down to the county dog catcher. Taxpayers pay their salary and provide the funding for them to do their job. We pay for every aspect of their job. So in a sense, I guess you could say our whole country is run on socialism. 26. Food stamp snap Republicans. Fill with bitter contempt knowing that our government at the expense of the taxpayer is giving poor people money to buy food they couldn't otherwise afford. This, like welfare, is what the right thinks socialism is all about, along with mass murder. However, just like corporate welfare, welfare is socialism. I'll just end this one with a quick story. I have been down and out in periods of my life and sought assistance via food stamps. Even though I was what anyone would consider poor, I was not poor enough to get food stamps. Which means people who do get them must really, really need them. As far as my personal experience, they weren't thrown around like candy the way the right would have you believe. 27 sewer system. Do you like having a sewer system to remove waste and prevent pollution and disease from seeping into our environment? Thank the taxpayers of America and the socialist system it operates in. 28. Medicare. Medicare is one of the most liked socialist programs in America. Most of us don't mind paying taxes to provide our senior citizens with health care and hope the next generation will do the same for us. If you don't believe me, just look at almost any poll. Most seniors would not be able to afford private health care. So this form of socialism is a lifesaver for this nation's grandparents and senior citizens. 29 court system. Whether it's the murder trial of the century or a case in a small claims court, the taxpayers of America fully fund our courts and legal process. You may pay for your own lawyer, but the courtroom, judge and jury is paid for through socialist means. 30. Bird flu vaccine. You don't have bird flu right now and probably aren't worried about it because our federal government. 31. GI Bill. The GI Bill allows veterans to pursue an education by using taxpayer dollars to help them pay for most of their schooling. It also helps them with loans, savings, and unemployment benefits. 32. Hoover Dam. Remember when our country used to build things? 2. It is now a vital source of power for the West Coast. 33. State city zoos. American families have been going to the zoo for generations. A place where kids and adults can have fun seeing creatures and animals from all over the world and learn at the same time. Many zoos are ran by the state and/or city, using taxpayer funds to operate and even bring the animals to the zoo. 34. IRS. I know. The IRS is about as popular and well-liked in America as a hemorrhoid. But think about it. The IRS is the reason that we have anything. The IRS collects taxpayer funds for the federal government. If there is no one collecting taxes, no one will pay them. If no one pays taxes, our country shuts down. Without money to operate, nothing operates. This may sound like a good thing to some radical Republicans, but for those of us with sense, we know this means anarchy in the USA. The IRS gets a bad rap because if you don't pay your taxes or owe them money, they can be ruthless. Like everything else, the IRS is not perfect, but without them we literally have no country or no means to run it. A 35 free lunch program. Some children are living in poverty by no fault of their own. I'm not saying it is even their parents' fault, but you surely cannot blame a child for the situation they are born into. Sounds like socialism to me, and also the moral and Christian thing to do. 36. The Pentagon. Our defense system in America is a socialist system from top to bottom. We as taxpayers fund the Pentagon completely. 37. Medicaid. Our government uses taxpayer funds to provide health care for low-income people. This bill does not disappear. The loss that the insurance company, doctor's office, or hospital takes gets passed down to everyone else. So covering people and giving them a low-income option reduces costs for them and everyone else. This is the main argument behind a healthcare mandate. It's not to force you to buy healthcare out of cruelty. If everyone is covered, costs drop for everyone. If you have no compassion for the uninsured, you can at least understand the rationale in a selfish sense. It is infested with corporate corruption, and they have been wrong many, many times. Countless times they have approved things that they later have to apologize for and have banned things that would have helped people. However, they have also stopped many harmful foods and products from being sold to the public and protect us every day from poisons being disguised as products. While not perfect, they are needed to prevent harmful food and drugs from being sold to you and your family. Without them, corporations can send whatever they want to your supermarkets and drugstores without any testing or evaluation. I don't mind my taxes going towards a middleman to inspect the safety of the products we are being sold every day. 39 healthcare for 9/11's rescue workers after beating back GOP obstruction. Democrats finally passed a bill last year to allow government to help 9/11's rescue workers with their health care after many came down with horrible lung diseases from the toxins they breathed in, rescuing people from smoldering buildings. These brave citizens risked their lives and health to help complete strangers. They deserve more, but covering their health care is a good start. 40. Swine Flu COVID Vaccine. Do you have swine flu COVID right now? Then thank government and the socialist structure. A government provides an income for them via taxpayer dollars, as opposed to the other option of letting them starve to death. 42. Town state-run beaches, like going to the beach. Like it when the beach is clean and safe. Like having lifeguards on staff in case of an emergency. Then, once again, thank the taxpayers and the socialist structure that makes it all possible. 43. Corporate bailouts, welfare. The whole point of this post is to prove that we all use this, benefit from, and like socialism. This example is a form of socialism that the Republicans not only like, but fight tooth and nail for. They don't like it when socialism is used for working poor people. But when it's for millionaires and their corporate donors, socialism becomes as American as apple pie. The middle working class, who are the majority of taxpayers, pay for welfare for corporations and people who have more money than all of us combined. When our government bails out a bank or gives a subsidy to a billion-dollar corporation, you are paying for it. 44. State construction. Ever see those construction workers in your town fixing potholes, erecting buildings, repaving highways and roads, and fixing things all over town? They themselves and the work they do is taxpayer-funded state socialism. 45. Unemployment insurance. All your working life, you pay payroll taxes. Some of these taxes go toward a program that temporarily provides for people who lost their jobs until they can find another one. You pay for others, others pay for you. Especially these days, you never know when you might lose your job. You may need temporary assistance until you get back on your feet. The government recognizes this. UI also keeps the economy moving in times of recession because people still have some money in their pockets to buy goods and promote demand. 46. City metro buses. If you lack transportation, you can catch a city bus. Taxpayer funds and the fee you pay to take the bus make it possible for millions of people to go to work. 47. WIC. WIC is a federally funded program to assist women, infants, and children. WIC helps low-income families by providing funding for nutrition, education, and healthcare for children. 48. State snow removal. Even though sometimes it may take them longer than you like to get to your street. Do you like having snowplow service to clear our roads and highways in the winter? This is a state socialist taxpayer-funded service. 49. PBS Public Broadcasting Service. PBS operates on donations and government funding. They provide non-partisan news and information to the public. They are the home of Sesame Street, Masterpiece Theatre, and the Antiques Roadshow. Surveys show that they are literally the most trusted name in news. I wonder how Fox feels about that. 50. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. The CDC helps promote and enact the health and safety of the public, along with helping to prevent and control illness and disease. The CDC is a government program that operates on taxpayer funding. 51. Welfare. Is there anything the Republicans hate more? Of course I'm talking about the welfare that goes to poor people. Corporate welfare is not only accepted in the Republican cabal, but it's mandatory that we give our tax dollars to billionaires and not question the logic of it. Though if you look at it realistically, and not through the Red Scare glasses, in which the right sees the world, welfare helps the economy. As I've said many times, when poor people have money in their pocket, they buy things made and sold by companies. This creates a demand. To keep up with demand, businesses must hire to keep up. If you yanked everyone who is on welfare off of it tomorrow, the economy would take a blow and lose jobs due to the downtick in consumer demand because we just took what little money they had away. 52. Public street lighting, like being able to see at night when you walk or drive. Thanks, socialism. 53. FEMA if disaster strikes. FEMA is there to help pick up the pieces. As a part of Homeland Security and an agency of the federal government, they use taxpayer dollars to help cities, states, and towns recover and rebuild. I don't know too many private companies that could assist in disaster relief and ask nothing in return. Thank God for socialism. 54. Public defenders ever been in trouble and couldn't afford a lawyer? Well, the taxpayers and the government make sure you still get representation. 55. S-CHIP State Children's Health Insurance Program. S-CHIP is a program that matches funds to states for health insurance for children and families that cannot afford insurance but make too much to qualify for Medicaid. Your tax dollars go towards covering uninsured children. Is that so wrong? 56. Amtrak transports tens of millions of passengers a year in 46 states and 3 Canadian provinces. It is owned by the federal government, and your tax dollars are used to fund it. All aboard. 57. NPR National Public Radio operates on private and federal funding, along with public donations. NPR has been one of the most trusted news sources in America for over 40 years. 58. The Department of Homeland Security, created after the terrorist attacks on 9/11s. This heavily federally funded department of the U.S. government helps protect us from future terrorist attacks. This is the 3rd largest department within the United States government. 59. OSHA. Do you have a safe and healthy workplace that provides training, outreach, education, and assistance? Thank OSHA. Brought to you by the taxpayers of America and socialism. 60 states and national monuments. The Lincoln Memorial, Mount Rushmore, the D.C. National Mall. All brought to you and maintained with your tax dollars. Socialism is patriotic. 61. The United States Department of Agriculture, USDA. The USDA enforces regulations on the farming, agriculture, and food industries to ensure food safety, natural resources, and hunger worldwide and in the United States. Your tax dollars are used to help keep what you are eating safe and even feed those who are not eating. 62. Government scholarships. If you work hard in school and show true potential, our government will give you a scholarship towards college so you can advance your education. Your tax dollars have been used to send future doctors, lawyers, scientists, and even presidents of the United States to college. 63. Department of Health and Human Service. The overall goal of HHS is to promote, implement, and ensure the health of the American people. Your tax dollars are used to do this. Government looking out for the well-being of its people. Imagine that. 64 Census Bureau every 10 years. Our government collects data about our people and economy to better serve and represent us. From the forms that are sent to your home for you to fill out and send back in, and to the census worker who shows up and kindly asks you to fill out the form if you don't send it in. All taxpayer-funded socialism. The information collected is used to better understand the economic situation and population in your area, not to enslave you in a FEMA camp. 65. Department of Energy. This taxpayer-funded cabinet of the federal government oversees nuclear weapons, nuclear reactors, energy conservation, radioactive waste disposal, and energy production. To those of you who care about our environment and would rather not witness a nuclear holocaust might consider this money well spent. 66. Customs and Border Protection. The CBP is the largest law enforcement agency in America. This is big government that Republicans actually do like because they don't like Mexicans immigrating to our country like our ancestors did. However, this taxpayer-funded, socialist agency of the federal government regulates trade, imports, and immigration. 67. Department of Education, this cabinet of the federal government, is actually the smallest. They administer and oversee federal assistance to education. They also collect data and enforce federal laws and regulations involving education. Even though the right thinks that this department is indoctrinating your children, they actually have no control over curriculum or standards. 68. Secret Service. Your tax dollars are used to provide highly trained, skilled professional bodyguards to protect the President of the United States. 69. Peace Corps. The Peace Corps is a volunteer program run by the government that helps people outside of the U.S. to understand our culture, as well as helping us learn about other cultures. However, they are more well known for their work with economic and social development in less fortunate countries. Sounds very Christian for being a socialist program, huh? 70. Department of Justice, the DOJ, is responsible for enforcing the law. Socialism keeps our civilization intact. 71. National Weather Service, like knowing when a storm, tornado, earthquake, or snow is coming. Socialism makes this possible and available to everyone. 72. The White House, our taxpayer dollars. Through a socialist means, pays for the house that the president and his family live in during a president's time in office. 73. Government. Like it or not, our country would not be a country without a government. Every single day, government on state and local levels serve us in ways we simply take for granted. Government as an entity operates and functions on our tax dollars through a socialist structured funding system. From the military down to the county dog catcher, socialism turns the wheels that make our society function. 74. Laws and rules make our democracy possible. Remove these laws and you have sheer anarchy. Laws do not appear out of thin air. To have law, you need a government. You need elected lawmakers to make the laws and a government to implement and enforce them. Socialism is responsible for every law in this country. Without our government and lawmakers, which exist thanks to socialism, there would be no laws. So the laws themselves are enforced and implemented thanks to socialism. 75. Civilization. As an American citizen, you enjoy freedoms that many in other countries do not. Like anything else in this world, our government is not perfect. But you should be thankful every day that your country has a government that feels an obligation to serve the people and protect their rights and freedoms. This is completely possible because of government, taxes, and socialism. Do you think the private sector would do a better job of governing our country? Do you think corporations would enact laws to help protect and serve you and your family, or them and their profits? The reason you can read this blog, and the reason I can write it whether you agree with it or not, is because of the freedoms we have here in America, enforced and protected through socialist means. Our entire civilization depends on us being a people united. Socialism is a glue that binds us together and makes possible the things that we could not accomplish as individuals working against each other, rich or poor. Tea Party, Republican or liberal socialists. So let's just stop the madness and have a serious discussion about socialism and the role it plays in America. Let us never forget that government is ourselves and not an alien power over us. The ultimate rulers of our democracy are not a president and senators and congressmen and government officials, but the voters of this country.